Life is not easy. Every single one of us faces struggles, failures, and setbacks in our journey. Sometimes the world pushes us down so hard that giving up feels like the only option. But extraordinary people are not those who never face pain. They are the ones who refuse to give up, no matter how difficult life becomes. There was once a young man who dreamed big. He faced rejection over and over again. He knocked on 100 doors, and each time, the answer was no. People laughed at him, mocked him, and told him he wasn't good enough. But instead of breaking down, he kept moving forward. Day after day, he worked in silence, building his strength. And one day, the same people who laughed at him stood up and clapped for him. That is the power of never giving up. Failure is not the end of your story. Failure is the beginning of your growth. Think about a boxer in the ring. When he falls to the ground, the crowd thinks it's over. But the true fight begins when he stands back up. He doesn't lose because he fell. He loses only if he refuses to rise again. Your failures are not signs that you are weak. They are lessons life gives you to prepare you for greatness. Success is not achieved in a single day. It is built through consistency, step by step, over time. Just like climbing a mountain, you don't reach the top in one giant leap. You reach it with small, consistent steps, no matter how tough the climb is. Even when no one believes in you, even when nobody claps for you, keep moving forward. Because one day, those small steps will lead you to the peak where the view is worth every sacrifice you made. Life will test you. It will break you down. It will make you cry, and it will make you question everything about yourself. But you must remember this. You are stronger than your pain, bigger than your struggles, and more powerful than your doubts. Pain is temporary, but quitting lasts forever. The tears you shed today, the sweat you put in today, the sacrifices you make today, all of them will one day become the foundation of your success story. If you ever feel like quitting, remind yourself why you started in the first place. Remind yourself of the dreams that kept you awake at night. Remind yourself that the fire burning inside you is greater than the obstacles in front of you. The world may tell you that you can't, but your determination must answer back, yes, I can, and I will. So make a promise to yourself right now. No matter how many times you fall, you will rise again. No matter how heavy the obstacles are, you will keep moving forward. Because in the end, success does not belong to the strongest or the smartest. It belongs to those who never give up. Sometimes life will push you to the edge, and in those moments, the temptation to quit will feel stronger than your desire to continue. You will wonder if the sacrifices are worth it, if the long nights and endless struggles will ever pay off. But let me tell you this, every great achievement in history was once a dream carried by someone who refused to quit, even when nobody believed in them. The difference between those who make it and those who don't is not luck. It is the ability to endure when things get tough. Think about it. Storms do not last forever. The darkest nights always end with a sunrise. In the same way, your pain, your struggles, your failures, they are temporary. But if you give up in the middle, you will never see the light waiting for you on the other side. Success is not about speed. It is about endurance. It is about staying in the game long enough to turn your struggles into strength. Your journey may be lonely. People will walk away. Friends may doubt you, and sometimes even family won't understand you. But don't let their disbelief stop you. Their doubts are not your destiny. Your path belongs to you, and only you can decide whether you will keep walking or stop halfway. Every step you take, no matter how small, brings you closer to the life you want. And when you finally reach that moment of success, when you finally achieve what you once thought was impossible, you will look back at the nights of struggle, the days of pain, and you will realize that every tear, every sacrifice, every sleepless night was worth it. Because a victory is not just about achieving the goal. It is about becoming the person who refused to quit along the way. So whenever life knocks you down, don't just get up, rise stronger. Whenever failure whispers in your ear, don't listen, answer back with action. And whenever doubt tries to chain you down, break those chains with your determination. Because the world does not remember quitters. The world remembers fighters, dreamers, and believers who... There comes a time in every person's life when words are no longer enough. A time when dreams are not built by wishes, but by action. You can read every book, watch every motivational speech, and repeat every positive affirmation, but unless you act, nothing will change. Action is the bridge between your vision and your reality. Without it, the greatest dreams remain empty fantasies. With it, even the impossible becomes possible. Action has power. The moment you decide to act, the universe begins to move with you. Doors that once seemed locked start to open. Opportunities that were invisible begin to appear, and strength you never knew you had awakens within you. Too many people spend their lives waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, the perfect resources. But the truth is, there will never be a perfect moment. Perfection is an illusion that keeps people trapped in hesitation. The only perfect moment is now. Think about it. How many dreams have died because someone kept waiting? Waiting until they felt ready, waiting until they had enough money, waiting until they had more time. The graveyard is full of people who had dreams but never acted. They kept saying someday until someday became never. Don't let that be your story. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is not intelligence, not talent, not luck. It is action. Action doesn't need to be massive. It doesn't need to shake the world on the first step. It simply needs to begin. A small step taken consistently is more powerful than a giant leap that never happens. People who wait for the perfect leap often stay stuck forever, while those who take small steps every day eventually move mountains. You don't need to know the entire path. You just need to start walking. Clarity comes through movement, not through endless planning. Every time you act, you break the chains of fear. Fear thrives in stillness. It grows in hesitation. But once you take action, fear begins to shrink. The mind is like water. When it sits still, it becomes murky, but when it flows, it becomes clear. Action creates that flow. It silences doubt. It kills procrastination. It builds momentum. And momentum is your greatest weapon. Once you start, you become unstoppable. Action also separates the talkers from the doers. The world is full of people who talk big dreams, but only a few who actually move toward them. Talkers get applause for a moment, but doers earn respect for a lifetime. Talkers imagine success. Doers create it. Talkers wait for opportunity. Doers build it. The world rewards action, not intention. You are not measured by what you say you will do, but by what you actually do. But action requires courage, because when you act, you risk failure. You risk rejection. You risk looking foolish. And that is why so many people hesitate. They are afraid of what might happen if they try and fail. But here's the truth. Failure is not the opposite of action. It is a part of it. Every failure teaches you something you could never learn by standing still. Every rejection sharpens your focus. Every mistake refines your approach. The only true failure is refusing to act at all. Think about every invention, every breakthrough, every success story. None of them happened by thought alone. They happened because someone dared to act. The airplane was built by people who risked crashing. The light bulb was created after countless failures. Great leaders, great athletes, great entrepreneurs, all of them are not defined by their ideas but by their actions. They were willing to fail, willing to stumble, willing to look foolish, because they knew that inaction was a greater enemy than failure. Action also creates identity. You become what you repeatedly do. If you act with discipline, you become disciplined. If you act with courage, you become courageous. If you act with persistence, you become unstoppable. Every action shapes you. You don't need to wait to feel ready to be the person you want to become. Start acting like that person now, and soon you will embody it. Confidence does not come before action. It is built through action. And let's be clear, action does not guarantee instant results. Sometimes you will work for months or years without seeing progress. Sometimes your effort will feel invisible. But every action plants a seed, and seeds grow in silence before they rise above the ground. You may not see result today, but the roots are forming, the foundation is being built. When the harvest comes, it will all be worth it. The tragedy is that many people stop too soon. They take action for a while, but when results don't come fast enough, they quit. They don't realize how close they were to the breakthrough. Imagine a miner digging for gold, stopping inches away from the treasure because the digging felt too hard. That is how most people lose, not because they never started, but because they stop too early. Consistency in action is the real magic. One action might not change your life, but repeated daily, it transforms everything. Action also demands responsibility. When you act, you take ownership of your life. You stop blaming circumstances. Stop blaming others. Stop waiting for someone to save you. You realize that no one is coming to rescue you. It's on you to take the steps, to create the change, to build the life you want. That realization is both heavy and liberating. Heavy, because it removes excuses. Liberating, because it gives you control. Every dream in your heart is waiting for you to act. It's not enough to want it, not enough to think about it, not enough to pray for it. Dreams demand action. Your goals don't care about your intentions. They care about your execution. The world doesn't reward what you almost did. It rewards what you actually accomplished. Action also inspires others. When you move, people see it. Your courage gives them courage. Your persistence gives them hope. You never know who is watching, who is silently inspired by the steps you take. Sometimes, the greatest impact you make is not in your success, but in the example of your effort. By acting boldly, you give others permission to do the same. So ask yourself, what have you been delaying? What dream have you been postponing? What goal have you been waiting on? What action have you been afraid to take? Stop waiting. Stop hesitating. Stop overthinking. Act. Even if it's messy, even if it's imperfect, even if it's uncertain. Act. Because imperfect action is always better than perfect inaction. One day, you will look back on your life. And in that moment, you won't regret the chances you took, even if they failed. You won't regret the risks you did, even if they didn't work out. What you will regret are the chances you didn't take, the dreams you didn't chase, the actions you never had the courage to attempt. Don't let fear write your story. Let action write it. So decide now. Decide that you will act, not someday, but today. Decide that you will not wait for permission, not wait for certainty, not wait for everything to be perfect. Decide that you will move forward, step by step, no matter how small. Because once you act, you separate yourself from the crowd. You cross the line from dreamer to doer, from follower to leader, from ordinary to extraordinary.